This is a heavy topic. That's my intro music. I'm Jess. I'm from Becoming the Best Self. I am back with my second, I don't think you can call this a vlog, but my second vlog because what's up? As you know, normal YouTubers say, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, do whatever not Instagram, this is Instagram, this is a whole different platform, do whatever YouTubers do. Bada bing, bada boom. Today, I have a very heavy topic. We are living in a very heavy world right now. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that shouldn't be going on, that is going on, that we shouldn't still have to be fighting for in 2020, but we are. And to be honest, this isn't my niche per se, but I have a platform. I don't feel right not using my platform to speak out about this matter. So today I published a blog post on white privilege. The focus of this blog post isn't to change your opinion. Me talking to you about white privilege, especially if you're white, is not to change your opinion. It's to teach you. It's to inform you. It's to help you learn what we have and how we can use it. And the big thing about white privilege that I want you to understand is accepting that you have white privilege and acknowledging that you have white privilege does not make you racist. It does not make you racist. I need you to hear that. I need you to say that. I need you to know that. Acknowledging that you have white privilege gives you the ability to use your white privilege to help your community, especially in current times, to help your black community. So to reiterate, you can use your white privilege to help your black community. And that's what I want to focus on today. So privilege is given a advance to get what you want. What is white privilege? White privilege is being given these advances because you are white. Okay, so we got that, right? Privilege and white privilege. We're focusing on white privilege in and of itself because that's what needs to be talked about. Now, white privilege does not mean that white people have not had to work. And I think that's a big misconception. We get so defensive when people tell us that we have white privilege. No, I don't have white privilege. I work for everything that I have. The thing is, we have worked. White people have worked. And I mentioned this in my blog post. Not everybody has worked for what they have. And that's not rich privilege, but we're not going to talk about that today. Most of our society has worked for what they have. They've worked to get where they want. The thing about white privilege is, it's just saying that due to history, us as white people have a little bit more of an advantage. We have a little bit more of a voice. We're heard a little bit louder and we're given a little bit more opportunities. So to this point, okay, we've gone over what privilege is, we've gone over what white privilege is, and we've touched on the fact that white privilege is not racist to admit that we have, and white people have still worked for what they have. Okay, I really want that to be clear because I don't want to be misinterpreted with people thinking that I'm saying white people have it easy, because we don't. But the fact is, we do have it a little bit easier than our black community. So that's where we come into play. That's where we start using our white privilege to bring them up to us, right? So due to history, black people are behind white people. Technically, that's white people's fault. You can argue that however you want. That's not what I'm here to discuss. It's our job as white people to not just see black people as, it's not our job as white people to just acknowledge that we have white privilege. It is our job as amazing, functioning human beings, a part of this society, to bring black people to our level as white people. It is our job to make sure that privilege isn't based on color. It's our job to make sure we don't have white privilege. It is our job to make sure black people have the same privileges as we have when we worked for it. Meaning, when you get that degree, you're more likely to get a job in that field, right? When you have your high school diploma, you're more likely to get into college. Stuff like that. Those are your privileges because you worked for them. The difference with white privilege is we didn't work for white privilege. We got white privilege when we were born. So that's already a disparity, right? The Black Lives Movement is not fighting to put white people down. You have your extremists on both sides, but that's not what this movement is about. The Black Lives Movement is to get their voices heard. It's to make sure that they are seen. It's to make sure that they are getting the same opportunities that a white person of their same status would be. Same status, meaning, once again, they're basically meaning their only difference is their skin color, right? So I'm not saying that somebody who dropped out of high school, no harm if you did, but I'm not saying that somebody who dropped out of high school should get the same privilege as somebody who graduated with their doctorate. They're different, right? They should have different opportunities. But for two people that graduated with their doctorate the same year, with the same degree, with the same background, they shouldn't have a difference just because one's black and one's white. That's the Black Lives Matter movement. Nobody is saying that all lives don't matter. That's not the point that's being made here. The point is, yes, all lives matter. Your life matters. Your mom's life matters. Your cousin's life matters. Your best friend life matters. Your boss's life matters. Black lives matter. The difference in the All Lives Matter and the Black Lives Matter movement is that all lives don't feel threatened on a regular basis. All lives aren't fighting for their voice to be heard. Black lives are, right? Black lives need this attention right now, okay? They need to be heard because they are the ones being oppressed still. In 2020, they are the ones getting silenced. So how does white privilege play into all of this? I'm glad you asked. We can use our white privilege to help our black community. How, Jess? I'm going to tell you how. I also listed these in my blog post. You can check them out. But number one, learn. Educate yourself. Do your homework. There's no reason that we aren't teaching ourselves things because we have all the access in the world to learn these things. And these problems have been going on for hundreds of years. Therefore, there's endless information about them. Learn. Number two, okay? Listen to black people's stories. Listen to their culture. Learn about their culture. Let them tell you about their traditions. Let them tell you about what's important to them. Listen to what they've gone through. Listen to why they feel the way they feel, okay? People don't just feel oppressed when they're not. Listen to what has happened in their life so that you know what you don't want to happen again, so that you know what you can fix in the future. Listen to their stories. Number three, speak up, bro. Use your platform. I am not a racial blogger, okay? This is not my niche, but this is my platform. And this is a matter that needs to be stood for, so I'm talking about it, okay? Us as white people, we have to speak up. And I also talk on this in my blog post, but I want you to hear me now face to face. This is how I explained it to a very close person to me the other day. If I, as a white female who, I'm not super feminist, but I also believe in equal rights for the females, if I am advocating for women's rights and I go to a group of men and I say, hey, I'm a female here, can y'all help me fight for my rights because I deserve them, okay? Yes, some of them might take me seriously, but if a white male goes to a group of white men and says, hey, listen, we need to speak up for women. They need more rights. We need to be equal. They need to be the same as us. That is going to do a lot more than me saying something. The same thing goes for race, okay? If I, a white person, goes and talks to my white community, which is what I'm trying to do, and says, hey, y'all, we have white privilege. The black community needs to be heard. I want this violence to stop. I want these riots to stop. I don't want them to be needed anymore. I don't want the black community to feel like they have to tear things down to get their point across. This needs to stop. We gotta stop it, guys. We gotta stop making these, we gotta stop the inequality. We have to stop the racism. We have to stop the racists. We have to put racism to an end. We have to silence the racists, not the black community. My white community is going to hear me a lot more than they're going to hear the rioters. Then they're going to hear the people being destructive. Then they're going to hear the black community because, hey, guess what? With that white privilege comes that white voice. That white voice can speak to white communities in a whole different manner than a different community can speak to the white community. That's on white privilege. That's on privilege of itself. That's on society. That's on sociology. That's how it works. Use your voice in your community because you have one. And lastly, 4, expose injustice. This goes along with using your platform and speaking out, but expose the injustices. Talk about what's going on. Don't let it be silenced. When you see something bad, call out. Those cops in the George Floyd murder, yeah, one knelt on the neck and 3 stood there. And let me just add this disclaimer right here really quick. I'm all for blue lives. Okay, I back the blue. I love criminal justice. I'm a firm supporter of law enforcement. Can't get on board with corruption. I will never be on board with corruption. There will always be corruption in every single business. What bad cops do, it shouldn't be taken across the board of white cops. But I do understand that when bad cops are taking people's lives, especially in a minority community, it can't go unseen. It doesn't just get covered up because there are other good cops. I get that. But hear me out when I say there are good cops. There are cops who dedicate their entire life to serve and protect you. So know that, for one, point blank, please know that. But in that situation, there were 3 cops who didn't do anything. There were people who videoed. Maybe they videoed because they were scared. But expose the injustice. If you're walking down the street and you see a black person pulled over, stop and wait. You don't have to do anything actively at that moment. Just stop and wait. Make sure they're okay. Make sure people see you. If you were in Walmart and there's a fight happening, even just verbally, stop and wait. Now, I'm not going to advocate for getting involved all of a sudden because, violence doesn't help violence, but it's neither here nor there. But expose it. Talk about it. Stand up for what's right. Fight for what's right. Speak out against what's wrong. That's all I'm saying. Words are hard for me today. This is a heavy topic for me, and as a white person, it is uncomfortable to have to speak about. So I hope that I executed my point. This is the first time I've gotten through something like this without crying, so I'm kind of proud of myself. But, guys, we have to do better. The last thing I'm going to say is I'm going to touch on the sentence, I don't see color. I go into more detail on this on my blog post, but the idea of I don't see color is a very wide, white sentence. And up to a few years ago, I would say it. I don't see color. I don't see color. I don't see color. You're equal. You're human. The problem with this is when you say you don't see color, you take away their uniqueness. You take away who they are. You take away their physical appearance altogether. You take away their history. You take away everything that has built them into who they are. So don't say you don't see color. See black people. See your black community. Hear them. Listen to them. Stand with them. And help be the change. Because guys, I don't know about you, but I'm 23. And in 5 years, I don't want to be raising kids or anybody that I have influence over and have to teach them about systematic racism. I don't want to have to teach them that they have to watch out for their black friends because life's a little different for them. I don't want to have to still worry about some of my best friends who are black. I don't want to have to worry about what's going to happen to them. I don't want to have to worry about where they live with what's going on. I don't want to have to worry about people because of their color. And I'm saying something that I probably should have said a long time ago. It shouldn't still be a problem. It shouldn't still be an issue, but it is still an issue. And we have such a big way to talk to people with social media. There's so many platforms that are so easy to have. And honestly, it's easy to go viral. I haven't gone viral. I think one of my TikTok videos went viral one time. But like, start a platform. Take a chance. Go viral. Build your network so that you can talk about things like this, so that you have influence. But keep in mind, that little 2-person friend group that you walk with on Saturday mornings, you have influence. You have that platform. You don't have to have 2 million followers on Instagram to have a platform to talk about issues like this. Talk to your family. Talk to your grandparents. Talk to your cousins. Talk about the issues. The hard conversations on these really heavy topics, those are the ones worth having, because that's where the change starts. I'm going to get off my pulpit now. That was a lot. And I hope I really didn't miss anything, because even though I don't know what to say, I know that there's so much that needs to be said. So with that, the key points that I want you to have is, I want you as a white person watching this to understand that you have white privilege. And I want you to understand that it's not racist to acknowledge that. And I want you to understand that you can use it to help the community. So please start using it. If you are a black person watching this, I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I stand with you, and I will stand with you till the end of time. Because nobody deserves to wonder if their family is going to come home, or if they're going to be able to go home, or if they're going to be able to walk downtown and people will walk beside them instead of crossing the road. People don't deserve that. We're human. At the end of the day, all of us are really just trying to make it, because sometimes life sucks for all of us, and we all just want to go home and go to sleep. And at the end of the day, that's what every person deserves to have. So I love you all, and I'm hoping that with all of the stuff going on, that it does bring change. And I am hoping that the riots and destruction can end soon, because voices will be heard and people will be doing stuff about it. I'm very proud of the community that I'm in right now, and the peaceful protests that are going on around me. I'm so proud of my town and my city for that. I am proud of all my friends on Instagram who are speaking out about things and are taking part of Blackout Tuesday. I'm honestly pretty proud of the people that I'm surrounded with, and I'm very glad that I can say that, because I know there are a lot of bad people in this world. So find your tribe and stick with your tribe. Get that support that you need. But make sure you're speaking out about things that need to be spoken out. This is a matter that needs to be talked about, and this is a movement that needs to be had. So if you want to see change and you want the violence to stop, start listening and become the change. That's all I got, and I hope I executed it well. But I love you all. I am praying for this nation. I am praying for you. I am praying for your family. I am praying for peace, and I hope life turns around soon for a lot of people. And in the meantime, I stand with you.